Aloha. Today I'd like to talk about conditional words again, and again about love. And this time, let's talk about tough love. Tough love. Um, in giving tough love, you are still, for it to be love, tough love, and not just venting frustration or anything like that. Um, you have to be the broadest way of thinking about it, or simplest, most simple way of thinking about it, is that you have to be within the spirit of love. You have to be operating within the spirit of love as you are bringing your admonishment or pointed whatever. For it to be tough love, it has to be in the spirit of love, truly, and not just as a justification or that kind of thing. So yeah, what is called love, what is called tough love, when it is actually loving, is always springing forth from seeing the best in the other person and speaking life to that, and doing so strategically. Uh, that meaning like wisely and empathically. Um, yeah, and humbly. Uh, so you're doing it in a way that it actually brings about good fruit. That it actually is bringing them up. It's not it's not venting frustration and annoyance and aggravation at this situation or at this person or at a way they're being or just choices they made or anything like that. It is never a venting of frustration, of negative, of that kind. And simultaneously, it is never the flexing of arrogance and wanting to be either known as being right or wise or intelligent, or the person who has it more figured out, or that kind of thing. Our we have so much shit in here and in here, especially, that we can so easily turn a good thing into a bad thing, um, if we're not careful, if we're not intentional. And so with tough love, you have to be, more than most anything else, you have to be intentionally loving and making sure that you're intentionally not being fleshy or yeah, um, you're not just trying to belittle someone, even at the most minuscule. You know, like on the surface, it may seem that you're you are trying to help them, but if you keep following that in your head and being honest, you will either get to a root of speaking life, of desiring to speak life, or to speak death. Um, you are either desiring as to bring about a change that is personally good, or a thing that is a result that is personally good for them. Yeah. So yeah, with that, with its rooting, it's, I said with speaking life and speaking death. That's one of the main ways that you can figure out a lot of this kind of stuff. Since those are the only options, you can't escape that binary kind, um, and so everything falls within one of those two things, and so it's very useful to see, to take that as your base, as your lowest level, to be able to see where your decision making is coming from, or yeah, what you're actually seeking with it. Um, but so the other side of it is that it's rooted in actually giving a fuck, like actually deeply giving, so just completely caring about this person's well-being and future, their heart and their soul and their journey. Um, it's not a this there's It's tough because we've justified a lot of stuff, and we have justified a lot of self-seeking um, modes of operation or decisions under the guise of it being ministry or something like that. And it's just self-seeking. It's just to make my life easier. It's not for you. Um, it's either to vent, like I said, to just, I'm not even thinking about it and I'm just speaking death, or I'm in that moment, my flesh is justifying it to me as saying that I'm just dishing out some tough love for them, when that's not the case. Or it's to bring about a selfish end. It's to shut you up so that I can get some peace and quiet finally, or to just get you out of my way, or to just so you will finally stop messing up, or whatever. There's endless kind. We love screwing this one up. So yeah, I'd say it's with it being rooted in giving a shit about someone, it requires relationship. And this is kind of the key to tough love, in my opinion, the way that I see it, is that it has to stem from, it literally has to. It is necessarily so stemming from relationship. And going further than that, not just relationship, pretty close relationship as well, like actual tried and true or competent relationship, a level of relationship that affords a level of competence that you can actually speak correctly into these lives. Yeah, because it has to be competent to be actually speaking life. Maybe not, but for the most, it kind of is, because you can give some worthless or dishonest or contrived words to someone that is surface level speaking life, but like metaphysically, I guess, or something, it's not there. It's not the fullness of that speaking life. And so I don't know how much that remains true. But yes, it needs to be competent and receivable. So even if it is competent, even if you have the level of relationship or like wherewithal to see what is needed to take place, and you deliver it in a, yeah, even if it's 100% on, you are 100% correct in your admonishment, and they need to listen to this. You still have to speak it in a way that is receivable. And so with relationship, with that speaking it in a way that it's receivable, when you have relationship, and especially a close relationship, you have the ability to have the authority to speak into someone's life, and you have the authority to speak into that relationship. And so that brings about another level of receivability of your tough love. So it's not just going to fall on deaf ears because, like, I don't know who the F you are. Like, I don't care. I don't trust you, or, something like that. To where, like, you're on, you've gone through some life together. And so they want to listen to what you have to say. Or else, why are you doing it? If it's not going to be received and it's not competent, or it's not necessarily competent, you don't know that it's competent, why are you trying to do this? And I would say that you are probably trying to vent your frustration with them, or you're trying to flex on them. Those are the two most common things. You meaning we. I do this a lot as well. This is I've done a lifetime of this, and it's become more and more salient to me over the years, and I see the detriments of it, and more importantly, I see the immense power of when tough love is actually tough love, when it's actually that pure kind, that discipleship, because that's what this comes down to, is discipleship. And yeah, so I would say, in conclusion, tough love. So with tough love, there's a better way for tough love and for this other term of understanding both. But to better understand tough love and what it actually is, a more precise term, in my opinion, and a more useful term, would be storge. The one of the four main Greek words for love. And storge, the way that I see it, is it's akin to philia, to where philia is this peer-to-peer kind of camaraderie, to where, and it's a similar thing, but with storge, it's more of, it's a different thing than peer, but it's like a familial thing as well, or like a pupil and a mentor, that relationship, or a parent and the child, that kind of relationship, that it is a friendship. There's still that relationship there, but it's a little bit different. It's a little more hierarchical than the even level philia. And so with that, you have this, like, the discipline of a mentor, or the discipline of a parent, that is 100% rooted in, despite, yeah, there's it cannot be as well. But when storge is storge, this discipline and this admonishment is rooted in love and in speaking life into this this person that they appreciate and that they are pouring life into, that they are attempting to build up and make better than themselves even. So yeah, storge is a better way of thinking about tough love, at least in this society, and the place that we've come to has made tough love as a term a muddy thing that most of the time is a justification for hate. A lower level of hate, or a more subtle level of hate, but it still is a justification. And like the last kind video said, it's not love unless it's love. So there's that. Hope you learned something. Thank you for letting me talk this out. It's very helpful for me to be able to flesh this out, and in a different way than just talking about it with someone. There's a little flesh in the game, or skin in the game. So yeah, I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your day. Aloha. As I edit, just wanted to add that at some point we'll be past the conditional words, and I'll be able to move on to a lot more fun and more adventurous, and yeah, different kind of things. This channel is definitely going to be a weird one, a mix and mash in a way. It's kind of weird the way that it's started out with these conditional words and whatnot. It's not the way I expected to start this channel, but it's cool. I can dig it. But yeah, just wanted to let you know that this channel will be moving into the outdoors and into some different genres and channel types, whatever. here soon. So stay tuned. Aloha.